Here at home, Western New York is filled with hundreds of thousands of tipped workers, and News 4's Dylan Morello is hearing from economic experts on what this could mean for their wallets. Dylan?
Marley, that's right. I spoke with Fred Floss, an economics professor at Buff State. He tells me while on the surface this bipartisan effort is a win for tipped workers, when all is said and done, the money in their pockets will stay the same.
Everybody can vote for it and say we're protecting tipped workers, and that's great, but I just would make sure that most tipped workers realize it's not going to have a big impact on their lives.
The Senate's No Tax on Tips Act wipes out federal income tax on cash, credit card, and check tips. This allows employees to claim 100% income tax, up to $25,000 each year, and applies to people earning less than $160,000 a year.
For most tipped workers, they don't have a lot of tips and they don't make a large salary, so they weren't paying income tax anyway. I don't know in what restaurants, for example, or what resorts a tipped worker is making $160,000.
Professor Floss adds that some workers in other parts of the state could see the money in their bank account rise. But here in Buffalo,
for high-end resorts, for very fancy restaurants where individuals are getting tipped, presumably in New York City, tips are a lot higher. It's going to have an impact. In a place like Western New York, where a lot of the tipped workers are making minimum wage, and actually below minimum wage because tipped workers make less than minimum wage, they're never going to hit the threshold where they would have paid any income taxes.
we spoke with a manager at Resurgence Brewing Company who have dozens of staff that work for tips. They tell us the news of federal taxes being eliminated on tips could cause problems for their employees.
I've been in the industry basically my whole life. I always thought in my world that the tips would be income, and then later on when you want to buy a house or a car, you can kind of show your income as proof. I feel like with no tax on tips, it might be a little bit harder for us in the service industry to get those cars and houses and loans and whatnot.
Now, the next step is for the bill to be approved by the House. If signed into law in its current form, it will take effect for all taxable years after 2024. In the studio, Dylan Morello, News 4.